Johnny Rob.
I'm excited.
Excited for this awesome Les Paul.
Custom shop.
This is a custom Les Paul. It's not a custom shot now, it's just a custom.
Potato.
So if you looked at the thumbnail, you already know this is a piece of crap guitar. It's not really though, that's the rub. I mean, kind of is.
I mean, it is. Okay. It is.
But it's a fake.
It's a fake.
This is commonly known as the Chibson.
Yes.
Now, who sent us and how did we acquire this guitar?
Our good friend Dan emailed us and said that his buddy acquired this thing. I believe he thought, Dan, you correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. We should have had Dan on. We should have had Dan in the little screen.
But we just didn't do any homework on that, so we're just going.
So I'm pretty sure his buddy bought it on eBay.
Awesome place to buy things.
Thinking it was maybe not a Chibson.
How much did he pay for it? Do we know?
I don't think a ton.
Like hundreds, like maybe like $500, $600?
Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood probably. Yeah. And then set in the corner, the email says he got it and thought, wow, this is not as good as my Fenders. And set in the corner.
So and I remember talking to you too about you're like, hey, I'm talking to somebody, he's asking like, what should he do with it? Should you destroy it? And I was like, no. Send it to us. We'll do it. We'll do a video on it, but also like I don't feel like it's a guitar that you should destroy.
No, not necessarily.
Now, should this guitar ever go back on the market? No, it should never be sold again. We're going to use it for this video. We're gonna mark it where it's clearly known as a fake or copy, and then it should be like a kid should be able to have this guitar. I think, or somebody that can't afford it, because it is a functional guitar.
Right.
It does work.
It works.
And it looks pretty cool.
Now, I know that Dan said that they had a lot of trouble making it stay in tune, intonating it.
The intonation is a piece of
intonation
honestly.
is pretty horrible.
Yeah, we played it, we plugged it in. But we want to talk about how you can sort of spot a fake.
Yes.
A little bit, so like before you get your tool belt out. But first things first, the color's a little bit off.
Yep.
But how would you know that if you're not like a Gibson freak?
Right.
You know, like the color on the binding's a little bit strange.
Even that's tricky though, right? Because maybe it's some weird like special run from some year or some, I mean, like so many things. That's tricky, but that is, when you look at that, there's something right away that you're like, I don't know.
Now, the little things that I noticed, like the bridge is not quite right. The way the bridge is screwed into the body is not how a Gibson should be done entirely. And I was talking with one of my friends, Larry, who's a Gibson, Larry Rochelle, who's a nut about Gibsons. And we looked at that and we were like, oh, that's funny. Because he was looking at it too. He's like, what's different about it? He couldn't figure out. I was like, it's fake.
That's a good point. With most of the fakes, I see them and I'm just like, something's not quite right, right? I mean, sometimes you can't put your finger on it at a glance.
If I saw this in a shop, I'd be like, I don't know.
You probably wouldn't just, because sometimes, like, this isn't horrible, but there are some wrong things in the logo.
The logo's not quite right. That's what Jonathan and I were sort of digging into a little bit. So that
little point right there. Should we grab yours?
No, I think it's just we can pull screen grabs or whatever.
We'll pull screen grabs.
But the logos do change throughout time.
They do.
But too, so that's just, it's a little bit off. You can tell now. Why don't you start screwdriving this thing while we sit here too? We're gonna take it apart as we talk. So it's tricky. You gotta play it. It sounds okay. It's not a terrible sounding guitar. It's not a good sounding guitar. It's hard to play, but then that could just be a bad setup from humidity. The carve of the top is a little bit off, I think too. There's a little ding in the back of it that just doesn't show the damage properly. But when you take certain things off and start getting in the guts, you can see things that are, shall I say, glaringly wrong. Would you agree with me there?
I think that's true. I think that's a fair statement.
I'll grab her off your leg.
You got it?
Bam. So we got inside here. That does not look very good.
What do you mean, Baxter?
Our first instinct was like, where's the truss rod? We couldn't find it. Derek had to stick something down that dark, scary hole to find the truss rod, which is not what should happen. And it should also not look like someone exploded their toothpaste in there the way it does. The paintwork is complete crap, which does happen sometimes, even on the old ones.
Well, I mean, and Gibsons have it comes out and you have the little, it's not an Allen wrench, like it's not recessed. It's you use a little driver, and
How would you know that?
I know some things. Some things I know.
No, I mean, that's like, and you take that apart, look at the electronics, it's a rat's nest of what it's not supposed to be. But that's the trick though, with why it's so tricky out there on eBay or at pawn shops and all sorts of things. You think you're getting like, oh my God, I only paid $1,200 for a Gibson Custom.
I mean, you could even see like it's just the paint and the nut right there.
Yeah, the paint on the nut is just
nasty.
trash.
Yeah, the whole way the nut is just trash.
But that is the thing that's so hard for the non-guitar lovers. Like if you don't, like we've spent years just digging into these things. We live with them, we sleep with them. I would marry them. If if this guitar was named Natalie Portman, it would be my future love of my life. But anyway, let's get off of that. I was watching The Professional again last night, and I can't wait to watch Thor: Dark World soon with my kids.
There you go. Done.
Anything with Natalie is great. Black Swan's a little disturbing, but it's wonderful.
Sure.
But, no, it's just there's a lot of little issues with this. There's some stuff on the fretboard that just doesn't quite make sense. The lines within the finish of the ebony. I think this is not ebony, or it's a weird painted on type of feeling.
It almost does look painted, doesn't it?
And but again, it's really, if I just saw this and I was drinking, I would think it's a Gibson Les Paul Custom. And I would want to play this guitar, and if someone was selling it for $800, I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
Are you telling me that drinking can cause you to take things home that you maybe shouldn't take home?
I've been married for 12 years because of it. So it's
There you go. PSA, public service announcement.
Drink so much. I remember one time my wife's clothes ended up in the oven. I don't know what logical universe. The tuning pegs are also on improperly. They're all cockeyed and askewed in certain areas. That could be, but again, this is the sort of cursory warning. It's really, if you're not looking for these things, and often none of us are when the gear lust comes in.
That's true.
If somebody walked in the shop with this and I didn't know it was a Chibson, I would have to do some due diligence. And the serial number lookup's important too. There's a lot of fake serial numbers that are out there, and the way, if it says made in the USA, the way it's stamped, the way this one's cut in.
That's another thing about this one. The stamp is, it's not really
wrong. It's just, it's cut in the paint is gone.
Right.
It's
But I mean, if you're looking at this on eBay or you're looking at this on Reverb, really tricky to tell. So that's another thing. If something seems too good to be true, probably is.
Yeah, and that's again, if you're paying a substantial amount if you're spending $500 on it, I think you have a $500 guitar here. It's a $500 guitar. It might not be a real Gibson, but who cares? Play it and enjoy it. My request is out there. If you do have one and you know it's a fake, please don't go out there and try to hurt somebody with it.
That's the problem, right? Is when someone's buying this thinking they got a Gibson.
Because we hung this in the shop as a test.
Yep.
For a little bit. I just wanted to see it. We were watching people oh my God, that's a really cool guitar.
We could have sold it 5 times.
5 times over.
We didn't have a price on it. They were just oh yeah, man, sweet.
Oh wow, I'll buy that. And they were it's not real.
They obviously didn't play it first.
They
were buying with their eyes.
We didn't even restring it. We didn't even buy it because this is some nasty strings. And there's a nice big bow in there, and it's. But I played it. It doesn't sound bad. I would play the heck out. It doesn't sound great, but it's tainted, so it's bad.
That's right. That's probably true.
It's the idea of your wife ever being with another man. That would never have happened with you ever in history. Other woman? It's okay. That's another story. No, there's no this. It's yes. It's yoga pants. Yes, always. It's not a question. Good Lord. Good Lord. I was gonna almost call you Derek.
Oh God.
I know. Derek.
No,
I hope that helps a little bit. It's not we're not doing a Trogly breakdown of just pulling it all apart and pulling out. It's more like a PSA.
Yeah, PSA.
And if you do get one of these, and you have it, and you find you got hosed or something, I'm sorry for you, but you might have a fine guitar on you too. I've seen D41, the sort of fake Martins, that were great acoustic guitars. They just weren't real.
Well, and the 2 fine gentlemen who sent us this guitar, they could have tried to sell it again. They could have passed it off. They did an awesome thing saying, hey, we'd love to send this guy to you guys to do a video.
Well, that's when when they reached out to us and wanted to think what he should do with it. That's when I was man, these are good guys.
They are good guys.
Ask for the guitar and let's send them a shipping and thing, and we'll do a thing on it just to help. And that's such a neat thing about the guitar community. Most people in it are really good. When guitars get stolen, we've seen an outpouring of support for those folks. When there's fake ones out there, when there's just people trying to taint our fun little fantasy land.
Right.
We all stick together.
We don't like it.
Pikachu style.
There you go. I choose you.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for they drew out the first pictures of the first live action Mobile Suit Gundam series they're making for Netflix.
Who knew? I'm still reeling from Dune. I can't move on from that.
I mean, I've watched it twice. I'm probably going to watch it again.
I'd watch it again.
Just as like the visuals of, I love the whole thing, but the rocket attacks too. Just like how decimating and how almost World War I-ian it feels. You know, they did that really well. I can't wait for Dune 2 with the part 2, with the combat that will be.
I realized after I went home, Baxter and I it was very strange.
We're
we had
pretty
a date
much done talking about this guitar
on his couch.
We had a full.
It was almost like the Harkonnen rockets were like giant versions of the Mandalorian's little birds.
Ooh, yeah.
How's that for some hardcore breakdown?
That's a good.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, so if you're mad about us talking about movies right now, you shouldn't be here.
If you've made it this far, you don't care.
We're having fun. And we have started recording our podcast, so those will be coming out soon too on a format near and dear to you.
Get to hear Derek's voice.
Derek, we got Sean.
Don't get to
there.
see him.
Nope.
But you get to hear his voice.
Just auditory.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have some special guest stars coming on that soon as well, and we'll be shooting those and or recording those throughout the next few months, and they're gonna all sort of start to dump one a week.
Has officially begun.
Stay tuned.
Man.
Take us home. Be careful of the guitars you buy.
That's
but
right.
Have fun even if you buy the wrong one.
So hit like and subscribe if you have not already. Click that bell so you don't miss things in the future, especially PSAs like this.
PSA.
PSA. We'll see you guys next time.